13 students are about to embark on an adventure of a lifetime with EcoTraining's brand new high certificate EcoTourism Field Guide course. This qualification is a first of its kind in the field guide industry and also the highest qualification you can achieve as a field guide. EcoTraining's course on nature guiding is an excellent way to gain a thorough understanding of the principles, theory and practice of guiding. Join us for the EcoTourism Field Guide Chronicles.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome again to the beautiful Timbavati Game Reserve in Kasi Lodge with EcoTraining. As you can hear, we're being serenaded by our ibis, and those from Johannesburg will be familiar with that sound, but hopefully we're going to go out there and listen to some new sounds of the bush. Shh. Pretty sure I heard the tail end of lions roaring. Okay, so good news, we were planning to head in that direction and we will continue with that plan to go see that. This is my navigator Rick.
Good morning.
Also a guest, as you know, but very keen and eager, so you want to learn a bit about guiding, so I said more than welcome to jump on board and do some navigation for us. All ready to roll?
Yes, definitely.
Brilliant. Good morning, big boy. So here we have a bull elephant. And I could tell he's a bull by a couple of things. First, on the side profile, we could see a bit of a penis sheath hanging just in front of him between his legs there. I can hear another one just further down that way, breaking some branches, and I think that's probably the direction he's going to slowly head towards. And the other giveaway sign is that he's by himself. So the social structure of elephants is when you see a herd, it's generally going to be a breeding herd, more often than not, of say around about 10 is about the average number. And you would see some youngsters there, some more smaller elephants, some larger elephants. And then when they hit their teenager years, call it about 14 years old, the boys slowly get pushed out as their hormones start to kick in. And they get a bit raucous and a bit rough and tumble for the rest of the family group, and they slowly get pushed out of that breeding herd.
I really got inspired by how important and how cool it is actually to have this skill to differentiate, okay, this track is a lion and this track is actually a leopard. To know what is the front foot and what is the back or hind foot. to know how fast they were, how slow they were. Yeah, so it can really be helpful in your guiding journey to just look outside of the vehicle, to find guests, their wished sighting, to maybe follow those tracks and interact or bring the guests into your thought process to why you're making this and this decision to turn on the right here, because those tracks are going there. Even like aging tracks with the antlion tracks over it, you can see, okay, this most probably was this morning, this most probably was late in the day. Same thing with birds. Birds are very hard to track because there is differences, but it's also not that different. So this is one of my struggles. But yeah, the difference between lion, leopard, hyena, and the different kind of antelopes, it's really cool to be like, I know what that is. I know what happened here last night. So yeah, that has inspired me a lot.
That's a hyena?
Yeah.
Symmetrical backpack.
Which direction?
It's heading this way?
Okay. Someone also said it's a lion. Who was it?
Not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I walked up. Yeah.
Yeah, but I actually,
As soon as I said, I was like, wait, why did I even say that? They had claws.
Check the two outer toes that are in kidney shape and the claws are more visible. Not a lion.
Put something extra for scale.
Yeah.
Please, that thing is that.
Needs to be quite a big age, eh?
Yes.
Maybe it's got
Crazy.
an edge, a fighting edge.
Big guy.
Sure. That's amazing. Eh?
Quite a meal for a sitter.
That's a whole meal on its own. What do you mean?
But he's so big, I want him to stay big.
Me too.
The Higher Certificate EcoTourism Field Guide course is registered with the Council of Higher Education at NQF Level. It is the highest guiding qualification you can achieve, and EcoTraining is currently the only training provider that you can get this qualification through. This differentiates it from our professional field guide course, which is at the NQF level. Here on this course, we delve really into the nitty-gritty of everything. We go from biochemistry with our botany. We look at genetics and how that impacts animal behavior. We look at astronomy from a purely astrophysical perspective. These skills enable us to take our interpretations in the field to the next level. Our elaborations go beyond simple identifications to really explain what we're seeing and why we're seeing it at that particular moment. Our students not only get the practical and theoretical knowledge needed to be guides, but they also, more importantly, get the skills to become researchers in their field. I have students who have their own interests, whether that's in botany, arthropods, tracks and signs. We're giving them the requisite skills to take their knowledge and keep on developing it. They're getting research skills that enable them to not take all the information they receive at face value. We want pushback. We want our students to be continually challenging the industry, trying to keep up to date with the constant new information that's provided by the science sector and being able to provide it in engaging, digestible information pieces that is relevant to guests. This is how we're going to take the safari industry to the next level, by keeping information relevant, by keeping it scientifically accurate, but more importantly, making sure that our guests and students leave our courses and our camps with a greater nature connection.
big boy. That's what we thought earlier with those tracks, that the giraffe tracks that we saw quite scattered and scratching all over the floor and moving quite a number of meters down the road could well have been two males necking and fighting. It's quite something.
Just close your eyes and just feel the leaf. You know, soft though. I love the fact that they're so soft.
Does
somebody want to look it up?
Nico, leaves up but not
That's where we all start, but I started.
leaf compound or bilobe.
A lot of our students come from an urban environment, and they come here to the bush looking not only for the skills to enter the guiding industry, but also to reconnect part of themselves with nature. And if you can reconnect yourself with nature, then you're able to gain the necessary skills to communicate that with guests. Then we're not only benefiting the industry, we're benefiting society as a whole.
This at, what was the camp? The last camp, good camp we had? It was Lisa's tree. Lisa Adidas.
So distinctly discolored. Margin
Is it really
smooth.
this one?
Tooth.
Well, it's one of them. I can't remember which
Is
one
that
it is.
smooth?
Which color it is.
Margin
margin, yeah, smooth.
Is it an ivory?
Spine prison, spines, leaves with blackish bacterial notes. No. Leaves densely hairy.
The king's tree as well. I've got to keep that marble in.
Where it occurs. But I think it has.
It's the brown more common.
Brown ivory.
Red is in Zululand.
Cool. Let's see what goes.
Yeah, they got tiny leaves. And I think the fruit of this as well.
Neuro.
Cytotoxic.
Oh, 50-50 split almost.
I know. Everyone shouted out cytotoxic, yeah.
So our lovely guide, Charles, promised us that he's going to show us how necking looks like between him and Uncle Rick. So against Uncle.
Can do vivid
Back
monkey
at camp.
alarms against it.
So we'll see.
That'll be much better.
Francois, you didn't hear her answer.
There's a spark.
It would be found in granites.
Yeah. Can Aaron go grab the phone?
Yeah. See, there was a spark.
This whole thing is
Okay, so for if it's a bird, they'll go loud like that, loud and single. And then something in the sky, then you'll alarm them to go down. Say for instance now, if there's something like a snake close by and alarm me, then they go to the You know which one I'm talking about?
I know because I've been watching also, but they were looking underground. There was a puffer there.
Yeah.
And but
I'm sure, but I'll give that little chatching.
After a long day of lectures, this is what some of the students look like. They take naps on the vehicles at sundowners.
Giant. That's like literally like complete giant.
Hello, sloppies. Hello, sloppies. You okay, Lipa?
This is what lectures do to us, guys.
Yeah,
It makes us tired.
But it's fun. You know what? It is fun at the end of the day.
You've got to get them fitted and tailored.
It is fun, but it's hectic because
Look there.
We were dealing with a lot of workload because the exams were coming up. So we all got in that mindset, okay, it's getting serious now. We have to practice everything that we've learned until now, the practical things, but also, most importantly, the theoretical things, because most of our exams were theoretical exams.
The workload it's pretty full on. It's definitely not a course for someone who's looking to go on a couple of game drives a day, maybe learn some stuff about the bush and that. It was intense.
We're going to need to show that we are capable of doing this and we are capable of being able to pass these assessments and handle stress.
They put together a hell of a textbook. It's very informative. And I think the difficulty for myself was, it's been a long time since my last biology lesson in class. So some of the concepts that should be more familiar weren't. So yeah, you have to kind of go back, take a step back, relearn one or two things, and then take it from there.
During the beginning of the course, when we were going through all the units, you know, I think that's when it really started to build onto me, thinking, my gosh, okay, we just finished geology. That's a lot. Now we're moving on to the next one. And yeah, the biggest part of the challenge was obviously also me being out of school for quite a few years. And that was the last time I was in any academics and studying and stuff. So yeah, to try to get the rhythm of now basically not do what I did in school, because I didn't really put too much effort. But yeah, the hardest challenge was getting the rhythm of now breaking down on what to study.
As this course is at an NQF 5 level, our students needed to be prepared that they were going to have some tough theoretical knowledge to overcome. This is not, we read a paragraph, we take it in, we regurgitate it to our guests the next day. This is spending a couple of late nights trying to digest some of this intense information to make sure that not only we can understand it, but we can deliver it to our guests in a way that facilitates this nature-society connection. We need future students to understand that if they want to join this course, they need to be prepared to work hard. Sometimes we need to pull our socks up and get down to the books. It's not only spending time out in the bush, but being able to merge the theory with the practical is what's going to make this overall well-rounded guides.
back in Makuleke after the first break. We are for 18 days or 18 nights now. We've just started our trails section, which is where I'm leaning towards in my future, is the trail side of things, which will help me get into conservation. I was the very first guy in my group to walk with a rifle. It's an air rifle, but they're just trying to check our muzzle consciousness still before they put us on real rifles with dummies first, and then they'll put us onto those real rifles eventually. I'm looking forward to that because, I mean, just from today, taking what Pit and JC were able to do today, watching their movements and how they operate together, formations, 4-1, just by, if we're in a thick area, Pit will organize 4 to JC, and JC will move all the way around to the back so that you have constant eyes on your guests so you don't lose one of them. And just experiencing how hot and like tiring it really is to do trails as a guide, because you walking in this beaming sun the whole day and your mind needs to stay focused on what's around you, and you need to listen to everything, you need to be able to see everything. Like I had pain in my back today from when we had stopped and watched the elephants. But as soon as we started walking again, my mind was too focused on what was around me. So I didn't feel that pain. So it really helps you push. I mean, 5 hours of walking went by like an hour if I was at home.
Yeah, yes, to reiterate one of the points I didn't mention there on the immediate brief again is obviously never run. Always tell people not to run, especially when you're going to be approaching lions. Lions is an animal that most people are the quickest to want to run away from. So probably one of the animals that you have the least chance of being able to run away from, but it's a natural thing. We've just been raised since childhood that predator, he's gonna kill you, you should not be close to him. Even in my own personal career, it's the most anticlimactic sightings most of the time. You spend hours following these lion tracks. The adrenaline's pumping just to see the lions, and they run off. Most of my lion encounters, as soon as they see you, they bolt, they run. They're not nearly as quick to just run at us and try and kill us as what we've allowed ourselves to believe. You actually have that problem a lot more with buffalo, rhino and elephants. They're big herbivores. They've got the weight and the side in their court, and they use that to their advantage. It's how they stay alive out in the wild as well. They use their size to intimidate predators. You've got a much bigger chance of an elephant running towards you to intimidate you than a lion running towards you to intimidate you. When you find it with lions, most of the time it will be a female with youngsters at a den, male and female busy mating and the male protecting the female, or when you disturb them while they're actively feeding on a kill. But if you bump into lions that's actively lying down sleeping, most of the time they get such a fright they just run. And you have all of that adrenaline and everything, and the whole situation just falls flat. where people are a lot more comfortable approaching these big herbivores. And you can have magnificent sightings of them. But they are the bigger risk when it comes to actual charges towards you than what the predators are going to be doing.
And action. Alright, so going into the wilderness trail with Ross, I didn't know what to expect. I was a bit nervous. I think everyone was a bit nervous, being told that we'd be drinking river water. We climb off the vehicle, get our bags on our backs. The first rifle, or the first person walking with a rifle, gets ready, loads the rifle, and we start walking. Next minute, not even 200 meters into the walk, and we stumble upon a herd of buffalo. Very interesting the way they reacted to us. I mean, not like your regular buffalo, they just stopped and stared at us the whole time. I mean, they barely ran away from us, which was a bit scary. And then eventually they picked up pace and started moving away from us. And then two big, like huge bulls decided to roll up afterwards, and that gave me the biggest fright of my life. I was not expecting them. And when I heard them rustling in the bushes at first, I really did start to think that these buffalo are coming towards us. And I just kept my cool, I didn't run. I did get a bit of a fright, but luckily they moved off. They weren't coming towards us, they were just following the herd. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
It's very different to a vehicle-based safari or being out there in that sense. It is, you're on foot, so you're a participant of nature. You're no longer just an observer. You always got to be wary and have your wits about you and be wise in a vehicle, but on foot it's just so much more heightened. And it just makes you a part of nature. You're there, you have to really be humble about that. So it's a different experience in that sense. Going out there with Ross, who's very experienced in Makuleke and knows it very well, is obviously a treat. He knew the good spots, but an adventure for him as well, because he needs to keep it fresh. So we went to some places that just were mind-blowing, to be honest. And I don't say that lightheartedly. They were awesome in the true sense of the word. On the banks of the Limpopo, beautiful wide river, and if you love the bush and you love Southern Africa, the Limpopo holds a special place. Borders between Zimbabwe and South Africa. It holds significance to Botswana as well. To be there and to experience it in that setting was just amazing.
The students I currently have were a little bit apprehensive when they first saw how much work that they were going to have to cover in 6 months. And I'm not going to deny, at points it was tough, but ultimately they did pull through. There's a very intense assessment program that the Council of Higher Education has put forward for this course. This means that those students leaving with the qualification have undergone some rigorous testing procedures. Working as a team, process by process, going through each of the information, being able to repeat it, speaking about it to each other, ultimately diving into the passion that brought them here to the first place, saw them through.
Studying was definitely the toughest part for me to get the concentration in. But I knew, you know, this is what I wanted, this is my passion. And yeah, at the end of the July came, exam time. Every day was stressful. I've never put in so much hours into studying before. And yeah, now I can reap the rewards and the satisfaction from that pressure and studying and knowing the reason why you did it. Because the hardest thing about it was like, jeepers, do we really need to know all this in-depth stuff? But when you now start taking that information, locking it in your head, and then taking moments from what you learned and putting it into your interpretations and talking and stuff, you really see the point of it.
We were the guides and we had to show our knowledge. The knowledge improved so much since February, since we've been here. I didn't know I had that much potential of doing so well in another language that I was not talking at home or speaking at home. So I feel very proud of myself that I've come so far.
Like myself, I wasn't too stressed about it, and then a few people were over-stressed about it. So we all had mixed feelings about this whole assessment thing, but we all backed each other. We all sat and studied together. I mean, a few of us, mostly the guys, had late nights. We had late nights. We went to bed 10, 11, some oaks went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning.
We talked to each other because we knew everyone was in the same boat, and we supported each other. So it was very hard, don't get me wrong, but we had good instructors to answer everything we had to know, to lead us through it and guide us through it.
You're very tired every day, but it's all worth it. I mean, knowing that you're going to have this qualification at the end of the course, it's the best thing you could possibly have, knowing that you've got the highest qualification a field guide can get.
Well, I've got about 6-7 years of tertiary experience, and this was as intense as any of them. And I loved it though, and I think everyone did, even though it was so intense at times. What I particularly enjoyed about the content of this course was the depth of knowledge that it gives you, not just giving you specifics of things, but also the science behind it, how they work, why is it like that? But giving you tools to be able to dig further into ecosystems, into evolution, into relationships between different plants and animals, and the physiology, and why was it like that? Why didn't it go this way? Why didn't that work? Why is this working? Not just the biology, then you get the chemistry of it as well was an important part. So I think very powerful thinking tools.
For the NQF2 and NQF4 courses, that theory is very manageable. Here we actually want to push our students. We want for them to kind of tip over that line and realize that, okay, sometimes I'm going to not be the best at something, but that's not a reason to give up. That's a reason to keep on working harder. This is why the work integrated learning portion is so important. After 6 months of training, our students are going to enter into that workplace and consolidate all that theory and practical knowledge that they've absorbed after 6 months. And they get to put it in practice with guests in a whole range of different environments. I have students going into Kenya. I have students going to the Eastern Cape, to the Western Cape. Some are here right in the Sabi Sands in the Timbavati area. Others are in Bululi. I have some down in KZN in Isimangulisalo Wetland Park, which I'm very, very jealous about. And I'm super excited to be able to do site visits with them and get to see some of the awesome places that they've ended up. These students 100% deserve it. They've worked so hard to get to this point, gone through multiple examinations, not just in the theory, but in the practical component to get where they are. And I can't wait to see them come out the end in January.
I wanted to do a backup with EcoTraining as my placement because I need walking hours, and I thought also with EcoTraining they're gonna know what I need to get done, so they're gonna help me along my path of getting my qualification in this placement time. And I am one of the very, very fortunate backups to be going into Makuleke, the most beautiful conservancy we have, and just learning how to overcome your fears when it comes to walking into predators or walking into large, potentially dangerous animals.
From vacation in KZN, I'll be home until the 26th of July, and then I'll be going on to my work integrated learning. I was lucky and blessed enough to be selected to go work for Beyond. And yeah, it's a big honor for me because of their reputation that they have and their strong sense of training and pride in their work. Dedication you have to give is a couple of years to them before you can even start working. So for me, moving from eco-training and going into an environment like that to keep pushing myself is something that I really strive for, and really appreciative that I've had the opportunity to get accepted and to go do my work integrated learning there.
No, not yet. Have you gotten like a reply from your placement people yet?
Yes. A week ago I've already told you.
True.
Yeah, I start tomorrow.
Already?
Yeah.
No, I'm excited because I'm working with Ross. So that's going to be quite fun. And then Melissa.
And Nathan.
Maybe Nathan. I don't know if Nathan's back yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully though.
Maybe I'll come visit you.
Yeah, you must. I'll only be like 4 hours away.
Yo, Rick should be excited. And beyond.
And beyond, ja.
Ek dink laas week het hulle vir my gesê dat ek aanvaar is. So dis iewers naby Makuleke, soos jy weet waar's Makuleke op die map. En dan links van dit iewers. Dan is dit Mapiese. Ja.
Heb jy al gesê wat jy gaan doen daarso?
So aan die begin gaan ek net eers soos saam mentors rondry, dat hulle my kan leer wat om te doen. En ek gaan soos basic werkies doen in die lodge. Soos ek dink in die kombuiswerk en so aan, en by die bar en die reception. En dan ek weet nie heeltemal wat gaan deel wees van die conservation soos deel nie. Maar hulle het iets so gemention. Maar dan as ek klaar is met die mentor, soos wat hy so my rondloop, as hulle dink ek's reg, dan gaan ek alleen gaste begin uitvat.
Yes. By my ook so gesê, maar ek is nie soveel gepla oor of ek alleen die gaste gaan uitvat as wat ek is of ek die strand gaan uitkom.
Ja.
Honestly. Want hulle het my gesê hulle het baie bird life also. En ek wil
ons het ook baie voels.
Yes, okay, ons is dan nie 'n verskoning as ons terugkom.
Ja.
Ons het dan nie 'n verskoning.
Los vir Larry. Ek wil 'n video neem, wag.
Larry, staan op my ou.
Dink jy Larry gaan opstaan as hy enigstens nader gaan?
Ek dink so. En dit was wel binne sy comfort zone gewees. Sy beweeg. Ek dink dat sy nog 'n paar keer voor in die pad gaan. Larry opstaan.
Larry, gaan fight hom.
Dit is 'n bietjie aksie. Ja, Larry.
Ooh. Ek dink die olifant het nog gesien nie. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Larry het jammer.
Oh. Ek gaan hom mis.
Yeah, so I think the most I miss about this course is just the complete change of lifestyle. Becoming part of the bush, As I say, no internet, no problem. Yeah, waking up in the mornings, listening to natural alarm clocks, your francolins, your pigeons, and then you're going to bed at night, listening to the night shift take over with your nocturnal animals, your hyenas and lions. I think the most I'm going to miss about it is just the environment we're in. You know, if there's no hot water, it doesn't matter because you're still under the stars while showering. Something I won't miss. Nothing really, eh? Yeah, the biggest, as I said, the biggest thing I'll miss from this is just the environment. Keen for vacation, keen to see the family, but just keen to get back out in the bush. It's got me hooked. So yeah, the biggest thing I miss is just the beauty of this, and just with the course growing a bigger understanding and why things work and how it works and why is it there, makes you just appreciate it so much more.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the EcoTraining YouTube channel for more content.